So after discussing what is meant by notional and proximity principles concerning how to make some sort of a grammatical agreement between the elements of a sentence, we have certain sentences or certain nouns that may be some sort of confusing or they are ambiguous. For example, the collective nouns. Collective nouns in a British, they are what? Notionally plural, grammatically singular. Notionally, how they are notionally plural? In the sense they refer to a group of persons, a group of individuals, a group of people. But why they are grammatically singular? In the sense that there is no any grammatical marker saying that it is what? It is plural, not singular. So again, notional plural, grammatically singular. Notional concurred. So they obey notional concurred. يعني depending on the idea of whether they are plural or singular. Such as the following: American usually has the singular. By the way, British, they treat or they put after the collective nouns plural verb. In American has a singular. يعني the audience or the public, are tired. Depending on the notional principle. The audience were enjoying. Although singular and plural verbs are more or less interchangeable in these contexts, يعني this means that there is some sort of wondering whether I put is or are, where or was or were, has or have. The choice, if on anything, on whether the group is being considered as a single, undivided body or as a collection of individuals. Means if I treat them or if I treat the collective nouns as single, undivided body, as one unit, one grammatical unit, I put is. Or as a collection of individual, يعني a group of individual. Thus, plural is more likely than singular in two. يعني المفروض the audience were enjoying very many topics because consideration is being given to the individual reaction of members of the audience. Contrastingly, singular has to be used in sentences like that. The audience was enormous. انتبهوا عليا. هنا عندي audience, هنا عندي audience. The first one, according to the notional principle, I put were. Here I put was. Where? Because I depend on the idea that audience, I treat them as a group of individuals according to the notional principle. But here I treat the same collective noun as what? As one entity, one grammatical entity, a single undivided body. So I put was, not were. Yeah. What about the correct coordinated subject? The coordinated subject, from its name, it is a subject containing a coordinator. A subject containing a coordinator consists of two or more noun phrases coordinated by and it is the coordinator. Two noun phrases, two nouns maybe, two clauses, two abstract entities, but there is what and between these two or more. A distinction has to be made between oppositional and non-oppositional coordination. Non-oppositional coordination, we include cases that can be treated as an implied reduction of two clauses. There have a verb in the plural. طب علي Tom and Mary. This is an example of non-oppositional concord or some non-oppositional coordination. Because Tom is a person by himself, Mary is a different person. So Tom and Mary are, you see, again, what I say, what I think. There is two different ideas, saying and thinking. There is put and. So I say are, not is, because I have two different ideas, and this is what I mean by non-oppositional coordination. A single verb is used with conjoinings which represent a single entity. A single entity. The hammer and sickle were flying from a tall ball. Because hammer and sickle, they refer to the same entity. It is a tool containing hammer and sickle in the same entity. Again, conjoinings expressing a mutual relationship, even though they can only indirectly be treated as reductions of clauses in this way. So take a plural. Your problem and mine. هذا reduction. This is what I mean by reduction. يعني أصل الجملة كانت your problem and my problem. So I have what? Two different entities here. Your problem and my problem. You see? هذا reduction. Directly treated as reduction. ليش استخدمت reduction هنا؟ لأن أنا عندي problem. لكن عندي شخصين having a problem. So I have two different entities. With the last coming up, what about the oppositional? Oppositional from its name, what are referred to the same entity. Listen. However, no such reduction is possible at all for the coordinated structure referred to the same thing, hence a single verb is used. Single verb. You see? Single verb. شلون احنا نعطيك مثال ببقتها when I say الشاعر المتنبي. You see? الشاعر والمتنبي refer to the same entity. Listen. This temple of ugliness and memorial to Victorian bad taste. هذا كله طبعا هذا subjects. هذا كله this temple of ugliness and memorial to Victorian bad taste. أصلا this temple, it is singular, so accordingly I put what was now where. Though I have and, لكن هذه and referring characteristics for what? For this temple. The two opening noun phrases here both refer to the same thing. The following example, however, is ambiguous and could have either a singular or plural verb according as the brother and editor are the person or two. Listen. أنا بالمحاضرة طبعا انطيت مثال إذا تتذكرون على إنعام وسراب. بقيت أتخيل إنه that إنعام is my sister and Sarab, you see. If I consider that إنعام هي نفسها my sister and my close friend راح أختار is not are. يعني for example my sister and my close friend is. أنا ايش قلت؟ اعتبر إنه هذا الشخص أختي الكبيرة هي نفسها صديقتي المقربة وياي. But if I say my sister and my close friend are يعني two different persons. هي my sister وأكو different person اللي هو my close friend وياي. That's why I put was يعني اختار is or are depending on the situation that I have. لكن انتم تقدرون تكتبون either singular or plural. Yeah. That's why such kind of coordinated subject was called ambiguous. Let us take this example. His younger brother and the subsequent editor of his collected papers. ليش اختار was؟ If I consider brother هو نفس الeditor، يعني هو نفس أخوه، هو يشتغل editor. I use was, but I can use were if saying brother is a person and the editor is another person. Okay? Some latitude is allowed in the interpretation of abstract nouns, so since it is not always easy to decide if they represent one equality or two. نفس الحالة I have the option to use have or has or have. Your fairness and impartiality, I have both because it is not easy, it's not simple to decide whether they are one entity or two entity. Yes, thank you.